Can a
needs of
woman
the
say,
child.
I want to give the child up for adoption?
Sure.
Why can't a man?
Because there is a child in the world and the mother's taking responsibility
No,
for
but
it.
let's say there's a child, let me just stay with this for a second. There's a child born. The man impregnated the woman bore the child for 9 months, carried the child for 9 months. Now the child is born. The woman says, I don't want to pay for that child. I don't want to spend time with that child. I've got to get on with my college, with my life, or something else. I'm not ready to have a child. And so I'm giving it up for adoption. Is a woman allowed to say that?
Yes.
Even though there's a child in the world
Very-
saying, I don't want responsibility.
Not be responsible.
If a
right.
woman can say, I don't want responsibility, is a man allowed to say, I don't want responsibility?
I think not if the woman is keeping responsibility for the child, then I think the man has to have some responsibility,
Excuse me.
minimally.
Pardon me.
Why don't you wait till I'm finished?
Your sexism,
Then I
your
think-
sexism is showing.
Then I think
Sexism is
minimally.
showing.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
I would also argue that, there's a lot of
And
things
children.
that
Sorry, forgot that.
I would also argue there's a lot of other things that women might bring into the table. Let's say for this discussion's sake, we're just assuming that the man is more of a provider role and the woman's more of a stay-at-home nurturing sort of role. And, fair enough, yeah, if the guy wants sex, he's allowed to ask his wife for that. I think when we call it a duty, it is back to that word again. It's a little bit icky.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I was going to say that the court system and the laws of the country are still traditional, but the society is feminine. Feminist.
Yeah.
So in that case, like men would get charged more,
No,
men
that's
would get this,
that's
and women
too
would get
true,
certain
yeah.
things. But the fact of the matter is, if we are actually living by this sort of feminist culture where men and women are equal, shouldn't that come to the case with divorce as well, where it should
Yeah.
be equal
Yeah.
rather than this sort of skewed old traditional style, which maybe was needed maybe 50, 80, 100 years
And
ago,
this
but it's not relevant
actually-
anymore.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Back to what Pearl was saying before. The reason I don't like the way that the court system works is because it depletes a man. This is what I was going to say before, but it depletes the man and expects him to still be able to provide, and that doesn't make sense. How can a man that's depleted actually provide? And for me, especially when you've got men who look after their families extensively, children, I don't know, grandparents, whatever that might be, it can be very, very, it's a fine thread. And we've spoken about this before, mental health, well-being, men being able to express themselves freely. Going back to Ib's point here, with the feminine society, we consider women over all men. So their emotions, the way they feel about it, like the word we're saying, it's a bit icky, but that's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's not, the tangibility in that, it doesn't translate. So we get nitpicky about how we feel about something, and everybody hears us. They hear us when we say, "Oh, we don't like, the guys doing this, and we don't like guys doing that." And then it strips back on the fact that you expect a man to be a provider. Then you expect him to be a man, but you're stripping back on his masculinity.
Because I could also say, is it a duty for a man to provide for his family? Like, what if he's being a bum and just refusing? What if he's no? But I'm saying, but most people wouldn't say that sounds icky.
No,
right?
no,
so
no,
if I said it's
right,
his duty
but-
to provide, get a job.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a
And if I
difference
say to a woman, hey, it's your duty to have sex, to be honest, that's easier than getting it than working 50 hours a week.
I mean, completely, but I mean, there's working and then there's sex.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's not to say like
She just said if you're not providing, you're not having sex, right?
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know
the
that
same.
sounds
So if you're not
fair
having
enough.
sex, the man
No,
ain't
fair enough.
providing.
All the time.
Is that nice?
Yeah.
Is that
No,
equal?
but okay, cool.
Would you accept that?
This is my thing. Yeah. There's two things I want to say. First of all, the whole feminism stuff that you were talking about. This is why feminists irritate me because you want to speak. I don't believe, it's going to sound a bit mad, I don't believe in equality, but I believe in equity.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that if you're earning £5 a day and someone's earning £50 a day, and they're giving you a £5 and you're thinking that's going to suffice. That's not how it works. That's not like, it doesn't make sense because everybody's life is very subjective and it's very different. So equity is one thing. If women are out here screaming equality, 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 and then things happen and they're going into courts now and they're coming from a very emotional standpoint, which is closer to, say, their nature, and that is now their argument, you've basically gone against everything you've just protested against, right? And what were we just speaking about? I just had a point.
Where you basically said if he's not providing, he's not getting no sex.
Yes.
And then I said, well, if you spin it the other way around,
100%.
if there's no sex and he's not providing, what do you think about that?
Let me tell you something here. Most women know what a man is and know how a man should act. But me, like, for example, I'm going to use me, forget everybody else. I know what a man is, but I will never go and step to a man and tell a man how to be. Do you understand? I know how a man is. I know how certain things need to be within a man, but I can never come and tell you you're not a man, or like this is what requires you
Be
to
a
be
real
a man.
man.
Do you understand? Because I just feel like there's a certain essence that needs to be separated. And
Can I say something about the difference? There's equal weight. Like you got an equal weight of 10,000 kgs of rocks and 10,000 kgs of feathers. They're equal weight, but they have different qualities. That feathers can be blown away in the wind, but the rocks is still the same weight, but it stands firm. That's the difference between the masculinity and femininity. Yeah. They got different attributes, and they should meant to be synergistic and work together.
So, question: what do you mean by equity?
So, I believe that if you see, like, for example, say there's a fence, yeah, and one person's 6'2" and one person's 5 foot. And equality would be you get a box each and that would be it. And whoever, if you get to see, you get to see. And if you don't get to see, you don't get to see, but you're equal. I believe in equity where if the 6'2" person needs 1 box and the 5 foot person needs 3 boxes for them to both see, that's equity for me.
So, so based on equity, would you say that women should be sleeping with more men?
No,
let's sleep with the short kings.
I think
equity.
I think men
equity.
When it comes to sex, I think each to their own.
Equity. Come on.
Listen. Let me tell you something, okay? If you want to do what you want to do what you want to do.
5 foot and broke.
And I'm gonna tell you
equity.
The reality.
But look,
equity.
I know a lot of. Let me not even say it like that. But I have interacted with a lot of women that will have sexual relationships with a bum.
Yeah, but he's hot.
Because
he's hot or he's got game.
Or his game is amazing, and they will stick around and they will be on his air mattress doing it all for 2-3 years and keeping it moving because they enjoy what they're getting out of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple stats that might sway your view on this. So if you ask 100% of women what they want in a guy, they list 20% of men. Women only swipe on between 5 to 15-ish% of men on dating apps. 1 out of 3 men under 30 are virgins or haven't had sex in the past year. Yeah. Women are incredibly picky.
Yes, we are.
But they have to be.
There's a statistic that says there's certain qualities in a man. This is me very loosely reiterating it. There's qualities within a man that only 40% of men actually possess, but 80% of women desire. So there's a small bubble of men that all these women are throwing themselves at because they have all these qualities and the rest are just left.
But what you said, based on equity, we should be more inclusive to make it even.
I was referring to in terms of the legality of things.
In terms of the legality.
Like the courts and stuff like that. I don't believe that, because we were speaking about the feminism and bringing that into court. I don't believe that should be a
Can I have an example of a law specifically that would benefit, that supports what you were talking about, equity?
I don't think there really is one at the moment.
Oh, that you would advocate for? Because I'm just trying to understand what you're talking about when you say that, because there's no real life situation where we're on boxes with a fence.
No.
You have an example. Child support.
Child support, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you do it?
I need to think about this because I don't want to.
Yeah,
for starters, we're not going to take the dad for a ride. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? And let's say the mother might have a bit to contribute herself. They're gonna balance it to the point where it makes sense for both parties.
100%.
So in the name
balance it in terms of maybe income, because a lot of I think a man should be or whoever messed up should be accountable, and that will be the catalyst to the child support.
Exactly, and the whole arrangement.
If the woman earns more than the man,
and also it wouldn't default women as a custodial parent. It would observe the full situation and
50-50
maybe
custody.
give
Custody.
Don't-
exactly.
don't-
And it can reduce the amount that the man ends up paying or whatever it may be.
So-
or it could just completely avoid the woman and go straight
So
to the
if
child.
there's a huge income disparity, would you still advocate in the name of equity that the other parent gets it?
No, that's
no,
Marxism.
because what do you mean?
Because again, like I'm just thinking of the boxes example.
Yeah.
And in that case, the guy that was super short versus the guy that was really tall, one got one box, the other got three. So when I'm thinking in the court system, if someone makes 3 times the amount of money as the other, would you then take from one to give to the other, and then like in the name of equity?
Within the relationship.
No. I mean the
Uh-oh.
relationship's done.
Uh-oh.
So
Yeah.
so
Sorry, explain it to me.
So
Yeah.
in the box situation that you gave me, right? The short guy got more boxes in the name of equity.
Right, yeah.
And so in this case, one person makes 3 times the amount the other person.
Yes.
Do you take money from the person that makes 3 times the amount and give it to the other in the name of equity?
I would say if the man cheated and they divorced and that was their reason and now he has to pay child support, if the woman earns 3 times the amount, I would rebuke the child support.
So if the man cheats, would you mean rebuke? Then she doesn't have to pay child support
No,
because
he wouldn't
cheated.
have to pay.
He wouldn't have
Yeah,
to.
because she earns 3 times the amount. I think it would.
Would she have to pay him?
Divorces.
Would she have to pay him?
No, because she's not the reason for their divorce.
So, but what about if they just divorce for no reason?
Then you split everything 50-50.
But I'm saying you can't split everything 50-50 because they make 3 times the amount as the other.
But I think that the reason why I'm going to say that changes within a marriage is because when you come together, you're unionized. You're 2 individuals that come together. So you know before or like when you're married to this person, this is their income, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
If there's no real cause or it just comes to a thing where you fizzle out within your marriage and X, Y, and Z, I think agree upon assets, agree upon what she wants, what he wants, make it out to it for it to be even and go your separate ways. And that should be a personal thing. I don't think that should be something that is
So you would say
capped at a percentage.
you would say that there shouldn't be child support then.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that it's very circumstantial. If your ex-partner's on 25k a year and you're on 100k a year,
Right.
and he slept with somebody else, I've now divorced him as the wife. I don't.
But you don't know why he slept with someone else. Like you could have not
No, I
been
get
giving
it,
him
but that's
sex.
all personal matters. That's between you and your partner.
Right. So then shouldn't it not matter in the divorce proceeding?
What?
Shouldn't it not matter in the divorce proceeding why you guys divorced?
Yeah, it would, but it wouldn't though. It would just be unless it's something that is.
But you're saying
tied-
you're saying it does matter because you're saying if he slept with someone else, then there's no child support even if the girl makes more.
Let me clear it up.
Okay.
Yeah, because y'all.
Let's get into this, right?
No,
now.
I'm just trying to
saying
understand what
is-
you're saying.
No, I hear you. What I'm saying is, if my partner has now cheated on me, and I have now filed for divorce, knowing that he earns 25k a year and I'm on 100k a year. First of all, me as a woman, I wouldn't even want your money. But I just believe that it doesn't make sense to now come and make the man pay 18%, 25%, whatever it may be, child support when he was basically on minimum wage.
So what's the
And
relevance of the cheating then? We'll say they left for
the
any
cheating
reason.
is a
Why is it cheating that he used it? He could have said she don't want to be with him no more.
100%, but then just divorce.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying. So the
separate from
cheating's
your
not really
relationship.
relevant. So if the cheating's not relevant, nothing should be, that side of things shouldn't be relevant.
Cheating's not relevant financially. Don't forget, you're a person of emotions. Your partner is a person of emotions.
I'm not saying you can't get divorced, but I'm saying in court.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think in court, when we're talking about money, what happened in the bedroom should like stay out of court?
Yeah.
Why is that? Right? Why does the judge need to know this?
I think
I
So
hear that.
I'm saying, but like you were talking about equity. So let's say the man makes 3 times what the woman makes. Does he owe her any money after like the divorce? That's what I'm asking.
I would say
if they have kids, yeah.
I would say
Why?
only-
Because it's not just this woman that you are now. If this woman, say she has sole custody or majority custody of the child, for example, you provide for your kids, that's 50% of you. Do you know what I mean? It's not like this woman who, is not in any way, shape, or form genetically related to you. Does
Right,
that make
but
sense?
it makes sense. It just I don't agree because
I hear
why?
you.
Because why is she entitled to his money? Go get a job.
That's what I'm
women
saying.
women
She
leave
isn't. The
women
kids are,
women
though.
women leave 70 to 80% of the time, and when they're college educated, 90%. So why are we incentivizing women to leave?
It's
We're
true.
giving you a reward, so
Yeah.
you leave and you get a check.
Yeah,
Split the
I was
custody.
literally saying, I feel
And so I'm saying, as I work, right, and I work really hard at what I do, and if I married a guy that made 3 times what I make, like I don't think, even if I have kids by him, that I'm entitled to his money.
no.
You're not, but your kids are.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
the-
I
Right,
mean.
but
You
so
shouldn't be
shouldn't
involved
he
in that aspect.
shouldn't he have the freedom to spend like the money on the kid? Most guys want but why does but in the way that you're talking about it now, like you're
Right.
saying that she's entitled to his money.
No,
because
I
that's-
said your kids are, because your kids are literally 50%.
right, but child support she gets. So that's what I'm saying.
As
Like,
the
shouldn't he be
provider.
able to spend the money?
Like that. She shouldn't get it
Yeah,
because
no,
that doesn't make sense.
I think the only way that this can actually make sense is if the court actually has an impartial view when it comes to deciding who takes custody of the children. Because most of the time, as you know, as we've said before, when a divorce happens, they just give the children to the mom. They have to actually investigate who's competent, and then the competent person gets to have the children. Then they can decide based on what a person, let's say the money that they make, what kind of contribution would be sensible to be put towards the care of the kids.
I mean, I think it should automatically be 50-50.
Thank you. I was
I
about
do
to
And
say
then,
that.
and like, I don't think there should be an investigation unless there was abuse
no, but I feel like
or
there's-
drugs
I
or
feel-
like, that.
I feel like there's many reasons why people can divorce, but I think, you know, as you said, there are circumstances where I would say it does call for investigation. Like, let's say, for example, you said abuse.
Would
or
you
let's
would you
say-
agree that that's the exception rather than the rule?
How do you mean?
Would you agree that in most cases people aren't abusive?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
so that's
in most
those
cases,
are
they aren't abusive.
So in most
divorces-
cases it should just be
But
50-50.
the-
Yeah,
can
but I
just-
would say
can I
most
just say, wait,
divorce-
the reason it's not 50-50 is because money cannot be made. If it's 50-50, then the woman doesn't get any money because it's 50-50. So there's no money to take from that, because the court will say, boom, the dad has the child 50-50, you have the child 50-50. So then you can't demand money because you both equally have the children. Do you
Absolutely.
understand? It's a business
But yeah,
transaction.
but that's
Yeah.
what I mean when
And-
I say they should establish sort of like competency. If both
Yeah.
parents are deemed fine, then of course, I mean, what would be the reason for child support? You get them
But-
half the time,
Yeah.
and
But
half the time they
but
get
the thing is,
the dad.
Tom,
but
Tom, but the thing is, it's business. Like I said before
Mm.
on this show, for men, they pay into the system. Women are more likely to get legal aid. They're more
Mm.
likely to get provisions to support them in a court case.
Yeah.
Men will take their finances from their job or whatever and have to pay to defend their side of the story.
Mm.
So it's a business for the courts and for the women involved. If the court said, boom, everybody's got 50-50, there is no court case.
yeah,
Because
but,
that is the most valuable asset.
but one of the things that you what you said that's actually kind of made me think of something is that kind of whole system sort of destroys the whole traditional notion of a stay-at-home mother and a working father. Because if the woman, let's say, divorces a man, she's automatically in a position where she's not making any money, and then the court's just going to take her side. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
They're probably going to help her. with
Why
it.
is she though? She divorces, she gets 50-50. She's got half the time to earn some money, bro. Just like the
No,
man's
but
got half his
but
time.
obviously, let's say if she was in a more traditional role, it's almost as if the whole situation kind of like de-incentivizes
Well,
being
she-
traditional.
but
because it's, as soon as she, let's say, leaves in a divorce, she's in a position where the courts will help her with everything. The legal system, from going to court to, do you see what I'm saying? And then it's like, men are like, okay.
So you're saying that she's not capable or intellectual enough or has no skills
I'm saying
to get
that,
a good job, basically.
I'm saying that the way the court automatically treats providers completely disincentivizes having a traditional family structure.
having a marriage, because the man will lose his stuff.
Oh,
Exactly.
you're saying, okay.
Yeah.
The man will lose his stuff, basically. One
Yeah.
thing, Pearl, can I just say, like, they say this equality and equity. If you ask a woman, do you want equality with sex? If you ask any, like, clear-minded woman, do you want to be, as we say in England, a slag or a hoe? They'll say no. They don't want to go sleeping around, but if you ask a guy if he wants to have his freedom to engage with women, it's like, yeah, I do, actually. So these things sometimes don't relate, and most of the time, these
They
equities and equalities, they don't exist, and they're
this-
not